Happy New Year, MOEO Nation. It is the first day of 2024. What are you going to do different in 2024? So I've been kind of teasing about what my word for the year is. Every year I like to come up with a word for the year to try to set a groundwork to follow in my year. And this year's word, revolution. You may have already heard that if you listened to my podcast on Saturday. I published a podcast talking about my word for the year, revolution. And here's why I came up with the word revolution. Because every year people make New Year's resolutions. And I started thinking about New Year's resolutions and what they mean. And I looked up the word resolution. And when you look at the word resolution, it means that you are saying something that you are going to do. You make a resolution. You make either spoken word or written word saying, I am going to do this. It's common in politics to make a resolution that something is going to happen, some sort of a political change or a social change or some sort of legislation. That's a resolution. It is words that you say you are going to do, but it doesn't imply that anything was done. But revolution is different. Revolution implies activity. When you look up the word revolution, the definition is a sudden change in activity of someone, something, some political body, some business, but it is a sudden change. It is activity. It requires movement, literally doing something. So I decided I'm not making New Year's resolutions. I'm not going to say I'm going to do something. My emphasis that I place my motivation in and my intention in is going to be revolution, to actually make a sudden active change. And I identified some areas in my life that I'm going to work on first, but I'm going to plan on doing this throughout the year. And the first area that I've decided I'm going to work in is listening. I think that if I look at my life as a listener, over the past year, I've definitely become a better listener, but I'm not where I want to be yet. And I've already started the revolution in myself of listening better. Every day, I'm doing small things, small processes, activities that I'm actually doing to make my listening better. And that's just step one. That's where I'm starting. That's the revolution. I'm starting a listening revolution in my life, a sudden, active change. And I can delve further into that if you want to listen to my podcast that I did on listening a few weeks back. And we'll continue as we go forward. But today I want you to know the word of the year for me is revolution. What's going to be your word of the year? Whatever it is, whatever you decide upon, I want you to think about the word revolution. What are you going to do to actively change? If you look at your life and you say, there are areas in my life where I want to be better, and I do that every day. There are areas I want to be better, and one of those identified was listening. So I'm going to start a listening revolution. But what are you going to do? Don't make a resolution. Don't say you're going to do it. Do it. Be accountable. So everybody that watches this and runs into me and meets me, if you don't think when you talk to me that you've been listened to, I want you to call me out on it and say, I thought you were going to be a better listener. I've already asked people to do that, but that's my revolution. 2024, word for the year, revolution. It is action, sudden action. It's not waiting. It's not thinking about it. It's not talking about it. It's doing it. What's your word for the year? What kind of revolution will you start in your life? Make the most of every opportunity because they are precious. MOEO, everywhere we go.